What's up, San Antonio? It's your girl JJ going live on Facebook during this COVID-19 year. I'm going to be talking a little bit about sports, music, things going on in San Antonio, and even a special guest or two may pop in. Feel free to share, comment throughout the show, and I hope you enjoy. I do hope you enjoy. And once again, I got my cousin Ashton joining me.
What's up? What's up?
I'm so excited to have you here. Glad to see you from across the way, I say. It's not far.
Yeah.
What are we, College Station now or Houston?
College Station.
So before we start, we got to give a shout out to some people very important to us. One being Calvin. Happy belated birthday, Calvin. I don't know if he's going to catch this, but maybe he will soon. We got to give him a happy birthday shout out for one.
Yeah.
Congratulations to him. And then, of course, Cameron, our other partner in crime, our other youngin, graduating from Texas A&M. Holy smokes. That is freaking a pretty big accomplishment. And, I'm wearing red today and I'm wearing a baseball shirt because of some pretty cool damn baseball players in Bel Air. I want to give a shout out to Aiden and his baseball team for making it to the playoffs and winning district, right?
Yep.
One district. So we got to give Aiden a shout out. I wanted to see him play a little further on in the playoffs, and don't say anything smart. Don't be mean, brother.
I've already given him enough.
Yeah. Hey, he's gonna come back stronger next year. But congratulations, Aiden, on on making it to the playoffs. And then I need to give another congratulations to Michael Davila, who graduated from high school right here in San Antonio. One of our cousins, Michael Davila.
Yep.
Congratulations on graduating. Pretty cool honor, huh? Do you remember when you graduated? Like, did it feel like yesterday, or does it feel like a million years
ago? Honestly, it feels like a million years ago. It's been so long. And I think probably because of COVID and stuff happening. So time was just moving so slow. So
that's true.
But it's awesome. I had a good time at my graduation. I was happy to leave. So
I was too. I was pretty excited when it was all said and done and over with. But it is what it is. It's all fun, I guess. It's a fun time. And it's weird because I feel sorry for him because he didn't have probably the fun that we did and got to experience COVID, so it kind of sucked. But there's always a college years and you can party and do everything else after that. I guess.
Yeah, it's almost over. So hopefully it's almost over.
I hope so. I'm ready to get back into the swing of things. And obviously basketball, people are back in the stands. It's a good exciting time for basketball right now. Brooklyn, of course, first game on tonight's schedule, Brooklyn Nets versus the Boston Celtics. In that first game, I was excited to see Brooklyn. I was pumped about them. And all of a sudden, Kevin Durant goes for that dunk. Of course, offensive foul. But the landing he took scared the crap out of me, man.
He landed right on his right arm. Like for a second there, he was laying there and his arm wasn't moving. And I was like, oh, wow. But he got up quicker than LeBron. So respect to him.
Sure did.
And honestly, I couldn't even be mad at KD if he stayed on the ground a little bit longer because I know I've gotten my legs taken out multiple times, just falling down, and you're just like, it's a stinger. The bones are still kind of vibrating when you get up. But yeah, I mean, he got right back up. So respect to him.
Much respect to him because I honestly thought there went the Brooklyn Nets season. Like as soon as I saw him going down, I was like, it's over. It's over. It's over. Yeah. It's over. And then when his arm was like behind him,
it just wasn't moving.
Swung around, and it was like, oh yeah. Just the reaction of the crowd was like, okay, Brooklyn season's our championship run's over. But for him to pop up and the way he did, and to finish playing. He even looked down at his arm like, I cannot believe he didn't break. But
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of crazy. But hey, man, more power to him. You're right. LeBron James flopping. I'm over it. I'm over it. You know, the cramp issue here in San Antonio, whatever. But that flop, like CP3 is like a midget.
That's what I was telling a friend. I was just like, no, there's no way. Like, yeah, CP3 might have hooked his arm a little bit, but there's no way he had that much power to just pull you all the way down. Like,
No.
It was such a big flop. And then I was looking at this dude on Barstool. You know, he was like, this was probably the greatest acting I've ever seen. You know, he goes down, then a brawl breaks out, and then the attention's off of me. So he gets up, goes to where the brawl happened, and then like fell back down. You know, and just like in pain. And I was like, wow, this guy really just wants all the attention on him.
He does. I mean, you missed the free throws, but hey, you know, we don't care. You know, we wanted the Suns to win. I know I want the Suns to win.
Yeah.
But, you know, I just don't get it. Like, I was watching the Hall of Fame ceremony. We'll get into that in a little bit. But, you know, you think about the greats. You think about Kobe Bryant. You think about Michael Jordan. I don't ever remember them doing something that he has done like this before, whether it be the cramp game or this or numerous other times he has walked off the floor and, you know, I don't want to say fake an injury, but pretty much it comes down to it's not a real injury. I don't remember them ever doing that in a tough situation. Hey, you missed the free throws. Your team lost a game because you missed some free throws. Jordan be in the gym after the game shooting those free throws, you know, trying to get it back in that stroke. But I just don't see how people can continue to call him a great when he just doesn't have that leadership. And by all means, acting the way he did, it's just an example of he's never going to be close to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. And as much as he wants to be, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, so speaking of the free throws, you know, everybody regards him as the greatest player of all time, you know. But he's probably the worst free throw shooter out of all those guys you just mentioned. You know, I think I don't know the number off the top of the head, but I know he's in a 60 percentile in his free throw percentage for his career. You know, he's always been a bad free throw shooter, and I just don't understand why he can't go into the gym and work on that, you know. But you're right. I haven't seen any of those guys. I mean, Kobe Bryant popped his Achilles and got up quicker than LeBron after getting poked in the eye. Still hit his free throws, you know. So
I remember he broke some fingers too, and still made his free throws.
Well, no, yeah, he dislocated right back out, you know. So, I mean, yeah, I guess it's just a new era, you know, where, you know, I guess you can be soft and still be called the greatest.
I guess. But, not gonna fly much longer. We'll see. I mean, if they don't repeat, it's gonna start to trickle down on him, and if they don't even come close. If you know, I'm hoping Phoenix knocks him out, but if they don't get back into round, you know, the Western Conference Finals, for sure this is gonna have an effect on him. And you know, you can be like Mike all you want and try to, and you know, have your own Space Jam #2, but no, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
Well, I think Charles Barkley said it best. You know, nobody's scared of the Lakers anymore. You know, AD's kind of been irrelevant. I mean, LeBron. I mean, he's still going to drop his 20 and 10 or whatever, but nobody's really scared of those guys. None of their bench guys that were coming through last year and even at the beginning of the season aren't coming through. They're not shooting as well. One of the Morris brothers, I can't tell you which one it is, but I mean, he's not shooting good. Caruso hasn't really been doing his bald eagle type plays. I mean, it's just like nobody's really scared of that team anymore.
Nope. No, they're not. And I'm happy for it. I mean, yes, I wanted him to win last year for Kobe and all that stuff. Okay, now we move past that, and just some of the Charles Barkley, you know, I know your mom and so many others. I know Vanessa loves to poke fun of him, and I know your mom knows him and thought he was the greatest, and he is the greatest. He's a great-minded guy, and yes, I believe LeBron James should have been suspended for his little off the court actions and violating NBA protocol. But because it's LeBron James, he's not gonna get suspended, and it's not fair. If it
Yeah,
would have
well,
been
you see, they waited to see if he got out of the play-in, because if he didn't, then you could be like, oh, I'm just going to suspend him 14 games for next season.
Mhm.
You know, so
Yeah,
yeah, I
but
think just the king factor. Yeah, I mean, he gets his way, which sucks. It shouldn't be like that, but
and if
he's
you're
the
doing it
king.
for ratings, it's not worth it. I mean, let's just be honest, it's really not worth it if you're doing it for the ratings. Um, I
Oh,
honestly hope
nobody wants to see LeBron and the Lakers. You know, they want to see KD and Kyrie and
Mhm,
Harden. They want to see the new
mhm,
young bucks out in Phoenix. You know, they want to see if
mhm,
Miami can try to beat the Bucks again. You know, there's so many great series going on. They want to see if the Mavericks can try to uh, get a rematch on the Clippers after what happened last year. You know, there's just so many other, I think, better and more exciting teams to watch than the Lakers in this playoffs. You know,
you
I
know
want to see the Knicks and Hawks showdown.
yes,
I'm excited for that series. I think that's going to be a
yes,
better series than Lakers and Suns. So
yeah. I mean, even the fact that the Denver Nuggets are, like, ranked number 1 in the Western Conference, I mean, I rather see the Denver Nuggets too, taking on
yeah,
those powerhouses and making it finally.
yeah. Another one, Denver Portland. I think that's a 6-3 seeded team that are going to be a great series. It's going to be close.
Mhm.
Seeing Dame Dalla and Nikola Jokic just go at it for 48 minutes is just it's
40
great
42
basketball.
points. He had 42 points. I mean, and he went off, like, what, for 17 in, like, 4 minutes,
Yeah,
which
he was.
incredible, like
Yeah, and I think at one point in the third quarter, he was 11 for 12 shooting. Like he's just so good. He can shoot over everybody. He's
mhm,
consistent. He doesn't have those games where he's shooting 2 for 12. He doesn't have those. And people say, "Oh, he's a center. He's getting layups." No, that man's shooting threes. He's out in the mid range, still doing his
mhm.
thing. So
Yeah,
I like Nicola. That's the MVP this year. So
it is. He is gonna be the MVP, and, you know, speaking of the Jazz even, um, Jordan Clarkson, obviously winning the Six Man Award. I am so happy for this. Um, little did a lot of people know was from here. I wouldn't say he was born here, but he moved here, like, when he was 6 years old, um, went to Wagner High School, and really put Wagner basketball on the map. That was kind of a new school kinda opening up, and, he came on and man, I mean, I'm so happy for him. He won, San Antonio Player of the Year, I think his senior year, and to have somebody from here, going into the NBA and really making a difference. I mean, he's been with the Lakers,
yeah.
I think he even was with Memphis, if I'm not mistaken. Like, he's been with a lot of teams, and, to finally see him fit in Utah of all places. I mean, we think Utah, I mean, who would have thought we'd be back in the spotlight with Utah in the playoffs, aside from the John Stockton, Karl Malone era? But,
Mhm.
to really put him back on the map, that's a pretty big deal, and I know some people are really proud of the San Antonio connection we have.
Yeah, Jordan Clarkson, deserved it. And six man was, you could have given it to Joe Ingles. Nobody would be mad. And Jordan Clarkson, nobody would be mad. I mean, I feel for the voters. It's kind of just,
Yep.
you don't know which one to choose. But I mean, Jordan Clarkson deserved it. He definitely could have gotten most improved too, honestly.
Mhm.
If Julius Randle didn't just go absolutely berserk this year. Um, but he deserves it. He balled out. He was hitting threes. He was just playing his role, and I think that's probably why he wasn't good in LA. It just wasn't his fit. It wasn't his role.
Mhm.
Now he's with Utah. He's not going to be the starter. He knows he's not going to have that. So you just come out there and give us quality minutes, just get a couple buckets, I think is just his role. He's a scorer. So I think it's much well deserved for Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for him and can't wait to see what that team does moving forward in the playoffs. And let's talk about the Dallas Mavericks. I know Cameron's not here to, gloat on his team, but we'll give him a pass for not being here to gloat on his team. But hey, man, taking game 1 from the Clippers, wow. I mean, that was a shocker for me.
It wasn't for me. I'm the Clippers. I've said it all the time. Every time I come on this podcast, I feel like I always say it. They're the most inconsistent team in the league. And, playoff P isn't the same player. He's not showing why he gave himself the name playoff P. And I think Dallas is going to win this series in all. You got to be able to shoot with the Mavs if you're going to beat the Mavs. The Mavs, they shoot a lot of threes, kind of like the Warriors and Rockets did a bunch. And if you can't hit three, you're not going to hang with these guys. You got Dorian Finney-Smith go 4 for 5 from the three. Tim Hardaway Jr. going 5 for 9 from the three. Luka going 5 for 11 from the three. The Mavericks just shot him out the gym that night. And, you could put Kawhi or Paul George, whoever you want on Luka, but the other guys got to guard the corners and the wings and stuff because I feel like Luka rather would pass than he would shoot, So kind of like Jokic, if you got these guys just throwing the ball all around the court and you're just running after them, you're going to have a long night. But yeah, I don't know how Clippers are going to get out of it. They just got to shoot threes, honestly.
I miss my guy JJ though, JJ Redick. Yeah, I missed him. I mean, he's not playing, but I was waiting for that kind of Clipper rematch for him. I thought it'd be pretty cool to see that, but obviously it is what it is. But Tim Hardaway Jr. too, I gotta give him some credit. I mean, that boy can play. He can play.
He's so good. After getting COVID and getting injured early this season, those couple games back, he wasn't up to par, but now it's been a little while. He's starting to pick it back up where he left off, and I like watching him play. He has a smooth stroke. He jumps super high too when he shoots a three. So no, he's a hooper. He's a hooper.
That he is. And I did think the Clippers would pull off game 1 in LA, but I don't know, man. Now I have this weird feeling it's going to be 2-0. We're going to get to Dallas, go 3-0, and the Clippers are going to win one. They're going to win one, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I don't
Yeah, I mean, and you can't lose the home games. Now even fans are back now, so you can't really. There's no excuse of losing a home game in the playoffs. But yeah, I just think the Mavericks just have all the control. And Cameron says it all the time. They match up well. They play the Clippers well, and I looked at past games, and he's right. The Mavericks beat the Clippers by 51 the first game, 24 the second game, lost 10 in the third game, and in the fourth game they won by like 22. I mean, they just know how to beat the Clippers. That's why from the get-go, I didn't tell Cameron this, but from the get-go, I was like, yeah, Mavericks are probably going to win this series.
Yeah, I don't want to tell him that, but he's
he's gonna come and watch it. He's gonna take a video of me saying that, and and
he probably will.
It is what it is. I might come in here to lie.
So, we're gonna go back to the Nets game. Do you think the Nets actually sweep Boston, or does Boston still 1 or 2?
I think it's going to be a sweep, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Celtics did take one. The only problem with the Celtics is, they've done it on multiple occasions, they'll be leading the whole game, and then as soon as the 6th minute of the fourth quarter starts, they just forget how to play basketball.
Yep.
And I think a lot has to do with the sets they're running, the sets that they were doing on the defensive end, keeping Jason Tatum without touching the ball. I think Jason Tatum touched the ball maybe 2 or 3 times after the third minute. So I think they just made a great adjustment in not letting Jason Tatum find his range and get it comfortable. And one thing that bugs me is that just Kemba Walker just never shows up for playoff games. He didn't show up last year. He's not showing up this year again, and I think probably all those years in Charlotte, not being able to have all those years in the playoffs probably hurt him. But, the Celtics are, I think, kind of in trouble if they can't hang on to a lead against the Nets. You got to hang on.
Definitely. And I'm a huge Kemba Walker fan, but you're right. I think him going to Boston, not having that Michael Jordan leadership to kind of guide him, even losing Tony Parker as kind of a mentor, he talked about, previous years,
championship deal.
Yeah, you don't have any championship caliber players around you to kind of give you that focus. Even with your head coach, you don't. So I can kind of see where that's an issue. But man, I really do hope they get it together. I really, really do.
Yeah.
If they can take one from the Nets, I'll let them. But I know the Nets are gonna win. I mean,
Well, it's just Jaylen Brown, having no Jaylen Brown too hurts. So
it does. It does.
It just, Tristan Thompson's doing everything he can down there. But
I don't know about that.
I mean, he's been playing a lot better. Like his last couple of years in Cleveland, everybody was like, "Who is this guy?" It's the Kardashian curse all over again.
Exactly.
But I mean, he's
that Kardashian curse really is true. I mean, poor Reggie.
Oh, yeah. Well, so the way I was looking at, there was one. A Kardashian dated Ben Simmons, and he had a horrible rookie year, for a month. Then James Harden was dating Khloe for 2 weeks, and it was the worst 2 weeks I've ever played. And then after they came out and broke up, he goes on a rampage, dropping 64. He was on a 40-point per game tear. It's Lamar Odom almost,
dying.
Yeah. I didn't want to say it on the podcast, but yeah, he
almost 9. Come on.
Yeah.
The Kardashians got him whooped.
Blake Griffin it took Blake Griffin, it took him 2 years to finally get a dunk.
Jeez.
Yeah, and reportedly LaMelo Ball's trying to do something. I'm like, dude, stay away. Don't take LaMelo Ball from me. Yeah.
Thank God keeping up with the Kardashians.
These NBA
almost over.
Yeah. These NBA players just need to learn. You got to stay away from those Kardashians, man. Your level of play is just gonna drop.
Yeah, your overall ranking's not gonna be there.
Yeah, it's just wild how it's just like that.
That is crazy. Wizards. Can the Wizards bounce back? Still 1 or 2 games? I mean,
they played Philly close.
They did.
They played Philly really close. It's just I don't see that. They need to. I just don't know with Washington. I've seen them come out and look like they're gonna, just go on a little tear. They had a great end to the regular season. They did great in the play-in. But yeah, I mean, I think they could take 1 or 2 because it's Philly. Philly just loves to, choke some games here and there. But they have no answer for Joel Embiid. I saw Danny Green was finally found his shot. Thank God, he found his shot. But if Bradley Beal can go off for 50 and Russell Westbrook gets a 50-point triple-double, they might have a chance.
Yeah, they would have to be averaging like 40 points a game.
Yeah, the duo needs to drop 100 points together.
Yeah, I mean, they only average 33, but we're asking for another spontaneous game here. They steal one. I see them stealing one. Don't see them stealing more than that.
Yeah.
I think Philly,
especially if Tobias Harris is playing the way he just played
yeah.
in game one. Yeah.
37 points. I mean, he's averaging 37 points, 6 rebounds, and like 2 assists or something like that. But, if he plays well and Joel Embiid stays healthy again, this is the one thing I always say. If he can stay healthy, they got a good path in front of them. When they hit the Knicks,
they do.
Well, I'll change my word.
Well, luckily they don't have to see them until the conference finals. One team I do think I still think Miami could probably pull out this series against Milwaukee, but Milwaukee does come out. They're gonna have a tough time with Milwaukee. They're still not a lock to me to go to the conference finals. I mean, but they do have the easiest path to get there. So, if they had to go up against New York or Atlanta.
I was just gonna say we're planning ahead here, but we're sleeping on one New York team, and that is the Knicks.
I love the Knicks. Love the Knicks this year.
The atmosphere I feel just by watching, it's reminding me of the '99 Knicks, John Starks, Latrell Sprewell, Charles Oakley. I mean, that big core of Knicks. Oh,
yeah. And you see Spike Lee getting into the game. I mean, it's like we're back,
Yeah.
Spike Lee finally made it back to the playoffs.
Finally there's something to cheer about other than the Yankees and the Nets. Now we got to put back on the Knicks. Hey.
The Yankees.
Watch it. But I'm glad the Knicks are back. I really am. I'm excited for New York. I love all the New York teams. The one thing
that worries me though about that game one is that was a tough loss. It's a team that hasn't really had much playoff experience. So are they going to, keep their head down going into Wednesday? Or, are they going to try to bounce back? We don't know what kind of team they are yet. We haven't seen, their playoff, how they can overcome a tough loss like that. And that one was tough. They had it in the bag and they just gave up 2 threes, and it is what it is. It's playoff basketball. The game's never over. So, but how are they going to bounce back?
How many more triple doubles does Trae Young get, or double doubles? I mean, this he's got 32 points, 10 assists a night almost. I mean,
he could probably average. He could probably average a double-double the whole playoffs. But what we really need to be talking about is how many triple doubles is Luka Doncic playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna tear it up.
I might be turning into a Mavs fan, but never.
Oh, I was gonna say, hold on here,
never. But the way I'm gassing him up, it looks like I am.
Yes. I was getting ready to say, hey, you might need to add a Dallas Maverick pennant back there or something.
No, I have an Astros flag for that. So.
Oh no. Yeah. That's even worse. That is even worse. Utah Jazz, Mike Conley, Memphis, man.
They stole a game.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. And that was a shocker.
Yeah. What a time to get hot, starting in the play-in. They were just a hot team. It's just a perfect time to get hot. So, and no Donovan Mitchell in game one. They had to take this one. This was the only game they were going to get. It was huge for him to take it while he's out, because once he's back, you don't know what's going to happen.
No.
So, I mean, they kind of needed this game one if they had a chance.
Do you think that Donovan Mitchell was just, hey, you know what? We're gonna give you a day off. We're gonna let you kind of
Because it's Memphis.
get in the swing of the playoffs, and then now here you go. Full reins there. So do what you gotta do.
I would not do that just because, I mean, Memphis is just hot. Ja Morant is a dog. And
Mhm.
Dylan Brooks, what he did against Curry in the play-in, that defensive effort, just the heart they have. It reminds me of the Conley, Tony Allen, Gasol days, you know, Memphis Grizzlies
Yep.
team. So that's what that reminded. They just played so hard. They have so much heart. Their defense was spectacular. Started off slow game one. You know, Utah started to beat them up, but then, you know, you just make those adjustments, you know. But they just played really hard. I kind of liked watching Memphis come back. And yeah, they stole it and they needed it.
Well, Dylan Brooks, you talked about him briefly. He's averaging 31 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists a game. And that's what they need. They need that.
And
help.
well, and he's just a big body. He was drafted as a defender, and then you know, throughout time he got his shot right. He got the full game going, and dude, he's just he's definitely been the best player in the play, like the most surprising player in the playoffs so far. He's just, you know, I think he's just playing to get the bag next year. You know, he's trying to get the money, but yeah, he's balling out.
Well, I can't wait to see if Miami can respond against Milwaukee. Of course, that game will be on Thursday in Miami. I think the Heat fans are ready for some more playoff basketball. They got cheated last year because they didn't get to be at the whole NBA finals and all that fun stuff. But, you know, man, it's a good time. It's a good time for basketball. I'm glad to see the fans are back. Hopefully, you know, the Phoenix Suns go down to LA on Thursday and, you know, just ball out again and steal one in LA.
Well, let's see how they play game 2 at 9 o'clock today. But Devin Booker balled out game 1. It was an interesting game, you know, especially with the brawl happening and flopping. But Devin Booker balled out. Chris Paul had a scary little injury. I'm glad he's healthy still, though. But man, the Suns are the real deal. They're young. They're hungry, especially with Chris Paul as their leader. You know, he's just taking them to a whole different level. When they last year in the bubble, they went 8-0. I was like, they're probably going to come out and have a good year. They added Chris Paul, and now they're the 2 seed going up against the reigning champs, and they definitely have the best chance of taking them out this series. So if they can come away with game 2, it's going to look real tough for LeBron.
And you know what? That Coach of the Year trophy would look really nice if they beat the Lakers. For Monty Williams.
Well, it's a regular season. It's a regular season award, but Monty deserves it. I mean, what he did with the Suns, he deserves it. Yeah,
he does. He does deserve it. You know, he played a few years here in San Antonio, and you know, was an assistant with Greg Popovich, and you know, I want to see Monty get it because he's one of the most respected guys in the league. As far as the Greg Popovich, you know, tree branch. But you know, he had an unfortunate
Doc Rivers, all those guys.
Yeah. And Monty Williams had an unfortunate incident that, you know, he lost his pretty much his whole family almost, and terrific car accident. And what a way to turn his life around and get focused back through basketball, and you know, to see him be able to be Coach of the Year. Amen, man. I'm so happy for him. That'd be a pretty cool thing to see, and I really do hope he gets it. You know, the MVP race is going to be something else. I don't know. I think, you know,
it's Jokic. But going back to the Coach of the Year, you know, you had 3 candidates that all truly deserve it. Tom Thibodeau, Monty, you know, these teams that you know, 2 years weren't even like running for making the playoffs, you know. So, you know, all those guys over. But I think Monty, you know, 2 seed, you got to give it to him, especially Phoenix. They haven't been in the playoffs and since what, Nash and Stoudemire. I mean, it's a little while. And
Kevin
then
Johnson error, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
the error, maybe. I don't know.
But yeah, MVP, it's Jokic. It's Jokic. Embiid missed too much time. Curry, even though he had a great April, you know, I think he just started it a little too late. Jokic, all the way.
Rookie of the year, we still giving it to Ball?
It's LaMelo. It's LaMelo. I mean, he got injured, yes, but the only rookie to lead all rookies in points, rebounds, assists, field goal percentage, threes, steals, like that's pretty wild. You know, yeah, and Anthony Edwards had better numbers, but he got to play a little bit more. And I mean, those are all trash numbers anyways. You know, they're getting blown out in Minnesota. So,
yeah.
You know, and it's sad seeing him go out in the play-in like that. But I think it's going to be LaMelo. And I saw he just came out and said, you know, his goal next year is to win a championship in Charlotte. Might be a little over himself, like
I think
it might be a little stretch, but I love the energy. You know, I love it. You know, I would go in every year saying, yeah, we're gonna win a championship. You know, what's the point if you're just like, oh, we're gonna lose anyways? Like, it's just no point. So I love the energy.
Yep, it's a good thing. It is a good thing out there. So we're almost wrapping up, but let's talk about the Hall of Fame. Something that was pretty freaking amazing. This past weekend, 2 weekends ago.
Yeah.
The 2020 Hall of Fame Awards, of course, the gala hosted by Lisa Salters, you know, had some memorable moments before the actual Hall of Fame ceremony on Saturday night. And Michael Wilbon received an award.
Yeah.
The TNT crew received an award. And I have to say, watching them, I am a huge fan of TNT.
Yeah. Ernie, Shaq, Chuck. Yeah. All of those guys. Kenny.
You know, and seeing Ernie so emotional for this award was a pretty cool thing. And I tell you what, I know I have grown to love basketball and to love talking about basketball because of those guys. And it's just a great thing to see them up there getting an award, you know, memorable award for everything they've done for basketball and the issues.
You know, and those guys just make basketball fun again, you know, with the little segments, a Shaq and a Fool. I mean, all of that stuff. And it's just like a perfect group of guys. You know, you got Chuck and you got Shaq just butting heads. You know, two alpha males in their own right, and then you got Kenny and Ernie as the mediators. You know, so it's just like a perfect group for a perfect show. You know, they deserve the award. It was awesome.
It was pretty cool to see how they've added Candace Parker, Dwayne Wade, a few other, you know, to kind of carry on the torch, because we all know they can't keep doing it forever. As much as we want them, they can't. But to add in those new pieces of the puzzle that, you know, that Candace Parker that brings that WNBA kind of swag to it, and it can kind of help mend the two leagues together. I think it does a great job of that because they kind of let her show her true skills and talk about the post positions. And you think, well, the girls don't play the same post position. Yes, they do. If you really kind of put it all together and put what that position's about. So to kind of see her talk about that, and then coming from a female, obviously is completely amazing to see. But, you know,
just another way that the NBA is just bringing a spotlight on the WNBA. You know,
it is.
It's big.
Seeing Mike Brame get an award, you know, getting acknowledged in the Hall of Fame as well. I mean, I remember him doing games on NBC, so many other playoff games. The
He
bang,
has some very memorable.
you
Yeah,
know?
the bang. Yeah,
Bang, bang.
that's what me and Cameron always say. They're like, just bang, like it just it,
Mhm,
and we always felt like all the players that's on the double bang,
mhm,
bang bang, and Steph Luka
mhm.
got one,
Yep.
and he's all over it. Cameron's like, oh, Luka got a double bang. Does James Harden have one? I'm like,
True.
it is what it is.
Yeah. But to see those awards ceremony was pretty cool. Um, I think the funny thing that I heard out of Shaq was him making fun of David Robinson not wanting to give him an autograph. Like throughout the whole night,
Oh
he made
yeah,
sure he said it like maybe 8 or 9 times. But it was funny to kind of hear that and see that. Then of course, you move on to the actual Hall of Fame, and we're never gonna see the superstars we saw in this Hall of Fame class. We're never gonna see that again.
yeah.
Never.
Yeah, I mean Kevin Garnett with the intensity and the everything that he brought to the game. Tim Duncan fundamentally sound,
Mhm, of
and Kobe just Mamba mentality. You don't see a lot
course.
of players with all three of those. You don't see a lot of players with just one of those.
Mhm.
So um, I couldn't even tell you the closest thing to Tim Duncan might be Jokic. Maybe I don't know. I mean,
You gotta win 5
He's
times.
he's well. I'm talking about just like his game, like fundamentally sound.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, I would say Jokic, but he's still not even there yet. It's just three games that were just so unique in their own right.
Mhm.
Um, and I agree. I heard Stephen A. Smith say, and I agree. This is probably the best class of all time,
All time.
the best Hall of Fame class. And there's nothing gonna beat it.
And we're not just talking about, of course, the 3 greatest NBA players. I
Yeah,
mean, we're talking about historic coaches in Rudy
Rudy
T.
Tomjanovich. Yeah.
I mean, the man. Whether you look at him from the aspect of the punch or whether you look at him as coaching the Rockets in back-to-back titles, um, it
Could you
doesn't
say that one
matter.
more time?
Yes, and
Just one.
back-to-back titles, yes.
Yeah,
I said
yeah,
it, okay? But I'm a
yeah.
Robert Horry
Well,
fan. So the best part that I took out of his speech was please
was
put effing Robert Horry in the Hall of Fame.
yeah,
He's
that
got
was
7 rings. You gotta put him in the Hall of Fame. I've
yeah.
been saying
No,
it for a long time.
it's Big Shot Rob, Big Shot
Of
Rob.
course,
I'm. It's crazy how he's not already in it, but
it
it was
is.
awesome him doing that. Because
Mhm,
just like he said, he had Doc Rivers and all these people saying, "Hey, I want to put Rudy T in," and so he's just passing it on, saying, "Yeah, well, you got to put Robert Horry in."
mhm.
But looking at Rudy T's speech, uh, I wasn't alive for the rings and everything, but I felt like I was there. When he was talking about it, the kiss,
A
the
fun
you
time.
know, yeah, it was awesome. And then of course Hakeem and those guys walked him out. So it was awesome.
I
It was a great speech.
I've never said this, and I know Cindy's listening, but I've never said this, but it was an honor to watch those games. It's an honor to watch any game, but it's an honor to watch the class acts, the Rockets,
Yeah,
when you get to see amazing teams like that are so, I mean, connected, and the coach from the leadership down, it starts with the coach.
yeah.
And the Rockets was one of those teams with Rudy T that, was amazing to be able to witness and to be able to go to those games. Thank you so much, Cindy. You know, you know what you mean to me, but thank you for letting me experience that. That is something I'll never forget, being able to go to one of those games and checking that out. Um, so
Mhm.
to hear him talking, you're right. You had to have felt like you were there. I know I did. It
Yeah,
brought back
yep,
memories of going to the game. So it's a pretty cool time. I'm just the main part of the speech that struck out, of course, was the Robert Orr thing.
yeah.
And
Big Shot Rob.
you gotta put him in there. He's right. You
Yeah.
have to put him up there. 7
Yeah,
rings.
because I mean, he just
3
made such an
rings.
impact on whatever team he went to.
Mhm,
He hit a big shot for LA. He hit a big shot for Houston, a big shot for the Spurs. Like
mhm,
every team he went to, he made a big impact on the biggest stage. Like
mhm.
he hit a finals three for the win with every single team. He
Every
just
team.
made such a big impact.
Rockets, Lakers, Spurs, and it's funny because we can probably name every team. I may have trouble remembering the Rockets one, but I know the Lakers one was against Sacramento.
Yeah,
I know the
the tip
Spurs one
shot,
was
the
against
tip out.
Detroit. Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, there's so many, and it's man, I still can't believe he's not in there. Um, I hope soon. I hope it
Hmm.
really does come soon for him. But those were the days, man. I loved it. I
Yeah,
loved it.
yeah.
I still have some Rockets jerseys. I still do. I promise. I promise. I still have my
Hey,
Akeem Olajuwon jersey. I do.
yeah, you got to. You got
Mm,
to. It's a legend. In my opinion, the best center of all time. Shaq's so dominant. Hakeem's the best. In
yeah.
my opinion.
Yes. Um, maybe when I was younger, I was a little stupid and I thought Shaq would beat Akeem Olajuwon. Yes, I know I was wrong, Cindy, all these years, but yeah, I mean, I will say, yeah, one of the
Yeah,
most
Shaq's the most dominant by far, but Hakeem's the best and the best defender, the greatest defending center of all time.
the hook, the hook. You got to
The
remember
dream shape.
Dream Shake, the
Yeah.
hook. Yeah.
All,
And
yeah,
Cindy's right.
and
We got to give a shout out to the Admiral. Of course, we can't forget the Admiral, but
he won the MVP. Saw him first round in the playoffs, and Hakeem gave it to him.
yeah, okay. We'll stop there.
Yeah, we'll stop. No, but
We'll
no,
stop.
I love David Robinson. There's no hate for David Robinson. He's a great player,
Mhm,
uh, and he served our country. So
mhm.
much respect.
He
So
did. So I'm not a Kim Mulkey fan at all, and I don't know the whole point of having somebody going up there and uh, sit with you. Okay, I get it. You have the greatest player of all time up there with you, introducing you into the Hall of Fame. Why the heck Michael Jordan? I just don't understand it. I don't know what she was thinking, but when you hear her speech, it's like she's recruiting, um, showing she knows the greatest player in basketball history, and, "Hey, come play with me, over here
yeah,
in LSU." I'm not a fan. I
but
didn't like
that's tampering, isn't it? Isn't that
it.
tampering?
To me, it is, because if you listen to her speech, it was a recruiting freaking trip. Like, you were there recruiting and saying, "Hey, I have the greatest basketball player of all time right behind me. Come visit me. Come see me.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, you're not gonna win, Kim Mulkey. I still don't like you. The Hall of Fame did nothing for you but make me more upset that you're just recruiting." I mean,
yeah. I'm surprised the NCAA hasn't come down with something like a fine or something. I don't know.
it was
A little bit of tampering.
I I just I just don't get it. I don't I didn't get that part. Um, I recorded it because one, I was at the game. I was at the Spurs game with of course your grandma and Judy, who probably
Mhm.
is listening. I'm not sure. We went to
Yeah.
go watch
Hi,
the Tim
Mima.
Duncan.
I see your comment.
Oh, she did comment. Hi, Aunt Judy.
Yeah.
Um, we went to the game to watch the Tim Duncan ceremony, which was freaking amazing. Um, and I was a little nervous to watch the whole ceremony because this, as your mom says, Corona coaster, it's still in effect. Um, so seeing the greatest basketball player all time getting introduced and inducted into the Hall of Fame is a little emotional. It was emotional at the game, when they had the banner unveiled as the Hall of Fame banner.
Hmm.
So I taped everything, went out to eat, wanted to watch it on my own time, you know, kind of get my own feel for it. And first person I turned on was actually Tamika Catchings. And if you don't know who Tamika Catchings is, you need to watch her Hall of Fame speech. A great basketball player from Tennessee, played great, played amazing under Pat Summit, went on to the Indiana Fever and had a stellar career. 4 years with the U.S. women's basketball team, 15 years in the WNBA, 2004, 2008. Um, I mean, she just had some amazing runs. 2011 MVP of the WNBA and 2012 NBA champion, WNBA champion, all-time leader in steals. Had Dawn Staley and Alonzo Mourning up there. It's great that she's an amazing basketball player, but what's more important is she can't hear. And to be able to accomplish the things that she has accomplished over the years is simply amazing. Um, she's right, basketball chose her and from an early age. And it's weird because they showed a picture of her and Kobe Bryant together when they were younger. And who would have thought they'd be inducted into the Hall of Fame together?
Yeah.
And it was an amazing thing to see. I'm a huge Tamika Catchings fan. I have had the opportunity to meet her quite a few times, have a few pictures with her, and I'm just so happy to see her
Yeah.
get picked. And she thanked a lot of the coaches for taking a chance on her. Van Chancellor, she even thanked Van Chancellor because, of course, he was a U.S. Women's basketball coach, Gino Auriemma. Gave a shout out to her best friend, Swin Cash, who was UConn player a long time ago, and they had some pretty good battles. But, just watching that and then going to Kevin Garnett and then moving over to Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan was something else, I tell you.
Yeah.
I was a little teary-eyed through most of that, but it was
he was real emotional talking about Popovich.
He was.
I wish he would have gone on a little bit longer about Tony Parker and Manu, that crew, but he did say, like, I'm waiting for y'all to get up here
Of
soon.
course.
So, but I wish he would have gone on a little bit because I know they probably have some crazy, crazy stories out in the locker room and stuff. So,
I know they do. Even
yeah.
outside, like some of the things you even just see on Instagram, their bike rides. I don't know if you know that. They like to ride. Tennis is another sport. Which, I mean, you think about it when they play any sport. I mean, are they really going to be that
Yeah.
good? And yeah, I don't know if I want to see Tim Duncan's backhand. Nope,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm gonna stay off the tennis court. I mean, I'm even scared of Van Judy's backhand. So
Yeah.
I can only imagine coming from, Tim Duncan. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was like a Hall of Fame thing, but I wish like they could have gone on a little bit longer and told more stories. That was the only thing. I love their speeches, but I just because Shaq's he told a bunch of stories. I just kind of wish. I don't know if they told him like you only have a time limit or whatever. Hopefully they didn't because that would suck. But I wish it would have gone on a little bit on stories that they had. Playing. So.
I did get some good stories out of him. Some of the things that I never knew. Redshirting. He redshirt. He had the chicken pox. Lost 30 pounds. I mean,
yeah.
Would have thought, but thanking his amazing people as his family. I have to say I kind of lost it a little bit when he said that. He's got 3 beautiful kids, and it was good to see, and I'm so happy for them. And man, 140 plus teammates. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
140.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
And he didn't even have to move anywhere.
No. And I remember when he was thinking about going to Orlando, to the Magic. They showed him getting on the jet and landing in Orlando and all the fun stuff, and it was like, are we gonna lose the greatest player to Orlando? Was a scary moment. I know for me, like I did not want to see him go, and I'm so glad he didn't all these years later. Because who would have thought, he'd be in the Hall of Fame and we'd be talking about this had he left to Orlando. I don't see it. Kobe Bryant's speech, I tell you what, the Vanessa outpour was amazing. I think
Mhm.
she did a great job holding it together. I was confused because I couldn't find um, Natalia, his daughter, and I saw her the day before, and then you didn't see her that night, and she went to prom. She went to prom the next night. That's why she wasn't there for the final ceremony, induction and stuff, but, you
Yep,
know,
I saw the Instagram post. My mom talked about the Instagram post yesterday when I saw her.
mhm,
It's a funny story. So and a cool story too. How it kind of all played out
mm,
about the same way.
jeez. It's just
Yeah.
it's so weird, you know? Um, I don't know, it was a cool thing to listen to, mixed reviews, people have said mixed things to me about it, thinking, Vanessa was not that good, she all about her, all about this is what every basketball player dreams of, whether you're a female or a male athlete, is going into the Hall of Fame as an athlete
Hmm.
in basketball. I know for sure.
Yeah.
Um, it, his dream, he knew it was coming. He knew he was going to get it, and he couldn't be there.
Yeah.
Probably one of the worst things anybody could ever feel, and we'll never know how that feels. But I mean, that was the whole point. The whole point of him being
Hmm.
the best player was to be honored as the best in the Hall of Fame. And, I don't care if she spent $2,000,000 on a nice, display in the Hall of Fame shrine, um, he deserves it. You can put every award up there, you can put all his trophies, anything in there. It's gonna be a pretty cool thing to see in Connecticut, and, I wanna go someday, I really wanna go check it out.
Yeah. And I thought she did a great job of making it about him,
Mhm,
uh, talking about stuff that he went through during
mhm.
his career, all his achievements and everything. Uh, it does suck. We don't get to hear certain things from him. But I mean, I think she did a great job with what she had. You know, but yeah, it was a little tear jerker. That
Mhm.
Yeah, tear jerker for
It
sure.
was.
So,
It
and
was
I
for
think
sure.
everybody already came in to it knowing it was going to be. So,
Of
uh,
course, of course. I mean, I would have loved to hear the stories with him and Shaq. Just like you wanna talk about, hearing this more of the stories with Tim, Tony, and Manu. I would have loved to heard more Shaq and Kobe stories,
yeah.
or Phil Jackson, which I was surprised really not to see there was Phil Jackson. I
Oh,
thought
and I didn't even realize he wasn't even there.
mhm,
Um,
yeah. I thought for sure we'd see Phil Da Jackson somewhere, um, to not see him there, or even Jerry West for that matter, was a little shocking that they never really showed them, but you're talking about the greatest player of all time, and,
yeah.
it's it's, uh, it's a sad thing that we didn't get to see, but at the same time, it was a memorable one. You're never gonna see that again. You're never gonna see 3, NBA players of that caliber, champions,
Yeah.
going into the Hall of Fame, and, it's just so sad, but at the same time, it's was an amazing thing that, so many of us got to witness, and will later down the years be able to tell so many about, that class, that 2020 class
Yeah.
that
I
really, really stood
yeah,
out.
I grew up watching those guys. So, it was just kind of surreal not being able to uh I can't see those guys play anymore,
Mhm,
kind of like when LeBron leaves and Curry leaves, it's just going to
mhm,
be wild not being able to see those guys play
mhm.
basketball. So, but yeah, again, that's the greatest class of all time. Those three guys right there alone would makes it the greatest class of all time.
Going through those withdrawals, because you talk about, worried about, when LeBron and Steph Curry leaves. I have to say, when Charles Barkley, Hakeem Olajuwon, Dikembe Mutombo, who I love to, joke about, um, when those guys actually left, it was kind of, you had basketball withdrawals because you were waiting for the no, you were waiting for the dream, you were waiting to see those guys over and over again, and you just kinda got depressed and kinda lost it, and to this day, I still don't watch really a whole Spurs game. I was there the other night. I was on my phone. I was doing stuff. I just can't watch a full game of Spurs basketball not seeing Tony Parker, Tim, and Manu.
The big three, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I already knew when those guys left, it was just like, okay, so it's not like the Spurs basketball isn't really Spurs basketball anymore, you know?
Yeah.
It's just, so you don't have Tim, you don't have Tony, Manu. And even when Kawhi left, it was kind of like the downfall. Even though the Spurs are still a great young team, it's just not the same.
Yeah, it's not. And, you know, you and I were talking off air right before we came on, and I brought up that stat about Greg Popovich. He needs 36 wins to pass the all-time coaching wins in a regular season. He needs actually 32 to pass Lenny Wilkins and 36 to pass his buddy Don Nelson. And wow, I mean, that's an elite number of wins. Yep. You know, some of the people notable that he already passed, obviously, Jerry Sloan, Pat Riley, George Karl, Phil Jackson, Larry Brown, one of his mentors, Rick Edelman, and of course, Doc Rivers. That's elite company. When you can be the number one all-time winningest coach in regular season history, that says a lot for your organization, for your team. I want Pop to get that record. I want Pop to be number one. But I think I'm ready for a change also. So one more year, Pop, so get those 36 wins and just kind of slide it on over.
36. Did the Spurs get 36 this year?
They did get 36. Thanks for hating on them. They did.
So I mean, I guess it's doable. You know, we just one more year, just write it out, get your 36, and then head out.
Yeah, one more year, get the all to see. Even the dog agrees with me. Get the all-time coaching wins and head on out. The cowboy rides away. I mean, obviously, it doesn't work for George Strait. He doesn't ride away when he says he is, but you know, the cowboy will ride away soon. So
yeah, I don't think my mom's too happy about him coming back after the whole being the last rodeo, but
last rodeo, cowboy rides away song. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It'll be another crazy day in the Houston rodeo. That's for sure.
Yep. 2022. We might have to go to that one. Gone to both last rodeos. So
the last of the last of the last. It's going to be like Cher, you know, turn back time. You just see another Cher concert. But it's crazy. But it's always good talking to you, buddy. Thanks for talking basketball with me. We got to do this again. Obviously, a few more games left in the season. What do we got? Like 6 weeks? 6 weeks of basketball left? I think it comes down to
about if everybody goes to game sevens, we might have a little bit longer, you know, more basketball to be seen.
I'm getting now we
there he is.
Hold on. Now we knew who's gonna pop up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. You know what, little guy? We've been missing you. So whenever you want to pop on and talk about your Mavs, you're more than welcome to pop on, which will probably be next week after your Mavs beat the Clippers. And you have to, if you have not watched this, Cameron, if you just kind of popped on like you just did, you better rewind because you're going to want to hold it to us, okay?
Don't rewind. All I'm saying is, if y'all lose this series, if the Mavs lose against the Clippers in this series, I don't ever want to hear anything about Luka Doncic and the Mavs. Yes, the Rockets are on the couch, but we were trash this year. We got a future. We got picks. We're Gucci.
You just picked, and you just said, I'm a witness. Everybody on here is a witness. You picked the Mavs winning. And now you're no.
Well, no, I did pick them winning. But if they lose this series, I don't want to hear anything from Cameron. I don't want to hear anything. Don't want to hear a word about Luka Doncic and the Mavs, because then I'm just going to say he's just a regular season player.
Oh,
just like you said the Rockets were.
Nice. Yep. I'm with you, Cameron. I'm with you.
He likes to switch it up. No, I still think the Mavs are going to win, but I'm just saying if, because anything could happen.
Sure.
If playoff P actually, decides to play good, it might be bad news.
Oh man, closet Mavs fan. I know that NBA basketball court behind him has a Mavs sticker on it. I know it. I can see it from here.
No, it doesn't have it. It's just a regular one, just a regular little mini hoop.
All right. Well, I have the Mavs beating the Clippers.
I do too, but now I kind of hope they don't. Now I kind of hope they don't win. So I don't have to hear Cameron switching it up. That's fine.
Okay. Well, congratulations, Cameron, graduating from A&M. We're going to give him a shout out for graduating from A&M.
Yeah.
Come on.
But I mean, JJ, all I got to say is Cameron's the biggest switch up. He used to be a Spurs fan. Now he's a Mavs fan. Remember?
I know.
Biggest switch up. And he's saying, oh, it's because I'm moving to Dallas. I don't know, man. Kind of a little switch up.
Oh, man. Blanco's
too small. That was funny. I'm glad Pat Bev is when he did that to Pat Bev. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen. That was Chris. Cameron, have you talked to Maxi Kleber after what Kawhi did to him?
That dunk, that changes momentum. Let's talk about. I know we were going to wrap up, and probably people are like, they're not off yet, but that dunk. There's certain things in sports that just kind of change that momentum, that cockiness that gets you.
No, that was
that dunk.
That was so nasty.
The three of them, their reaction was like, it was like, really? Like, you just dunked and you're still losing. Like,
no,
it wasn't. But that was the momentum changer to say,
yeah,
but over the gas and let's go. Like
he dunked them into like the pylon. Like he got, that was. That was.
Three of them were staring at him like he was an idiot.
Yeah, well, Paul George. That was the only thing Paul George could scream about because he wasn't doing anything all game. So
could do. And
Cameron said AV out. Sure.
It was funny, but those are the momentum swings that I like to see in sports. The KD fall the other day, I think, kind of stepped him up, got him a little scared. He stepped up. That dunk changed things. You look at other sports and those monumental moments. San Francisco's pre-celebration. I'm sorry, Patrick Mahomes kept his head down, got back in the game, and boom, they win the Super Bowl.
Yep.
It's stuff like that it just irritates the crap out of me. But I mean, I guess we're all guilty of celebrating like that at some point. But put it in the bag first before you get too excited. Put it in the bag.
Yeah. First. And DT, I mean, I'm sorry that the Celtics choked the other night. I was really rooting for him. You can ask Cameron. I was really rooting for him. But the Rockets, we're gonna have to wait 4 to 6 months.
No.
To see, I can't wait. Cade Cunningham jersey. I can't wait. Cade Cunningham.
You
can't wait for it to happen.
You are not waiting 4 to 6 months for the Rockets to come alive. The Rockets, no. Nope, I'm sorry.
Hey, we're going to get Cade Cunningham this summer. We're getting Cade Cunningham. The ping pong balls is going to go in our favor. We're going to get the number 1 pick, Cade Cunningham, next year. We'll see. We'll see.
Nope, I don't buy it. I'm not buying in.
He said 4 to 6 years, maybe.
4 to 6 years, maybe. I'm with Cameron. 4 to 6 years, a new coach, a new owner. Houston, you have a major problem. Fix it.
Well, yeah, from that standpoint, yes, yeah. Our front office is the worst.
I think the only worst front right now is 50 Cent moving to Houston and making a difference, handing out.
Oh yeah,
over there.
Yeah, 50. I just got 21 questions for him. That was so cheesy.
That was, but hey, the Houston Bumps. Oh wow.
Oof.
Wow.
Oof. Oof.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Well, I just want to see Luka win a series first. And so
I think he did, buddy. I think
a
he did.
series? No, he won a game. He didn't win a series.
He won a series last year.
No, he didn't. First round exit to the Clippers.
Oh, true. Dang it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Cindy's giving us some history right here. They just signed the first female president of basketball operations. Wow. Now that's a good
4 to 6 years, Cameron. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh,
kidding. I was kidding.
That was so
kidding.
good. Okay.
I know. I'm canceled.
I'm gonna ride the Houston bandwagon for that right there.
Gotcha. No, that's big. It's big.
Women are making it. Women are making it. Yeah. Things are changing, whether it be in the NBA, MLB, even college football too. You'd be surprised. So that's a huge step for Houston.
No, it's big.
Kudos to them. Finally, hopefully we're getting somewhere. But I still don't know. It'll be a few more years, but kudos to them for making that adjustment. And hopefully that turns things around, man.
Good it's just going to lead for more female, bigger roles in a franchise. So
yeah, I like it.
I'm just waiting for Becky Hammonds to take over the Spurs. Just waiting.
Me too. I'm waiting, but like I said, I'm gonna give Pop another year, get his title,
get his 36 wins. Yeah,
36 wins, and I don't even care after 36. He'd be like, hey. Sit back and enjoy the ride the rest of the way, but get him his 36 wins, and then Becky Hammond. Here we go.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, it's always good talking to you again, Cameron. Congratulations on graduating. Matt Davila, Michael Davila. Congratulations on graduating, and man, happy belated birthday, Calvin. Hope you guys had a good day, and hope to see you soon, buddy. We got some more basketball to cover, and then the Olympics for sure. The Olympics.
Yep, the Olympics is coming up,
and the NBA.
I'm excited.
Yeah, and the NBA, it just reached out a mark to where they're going to expand the NBA to Africa. Dikembe Mutombo is going to be in charge of that, so that's going to be something pretty cool to watch out. Developing more players in the the overseas game is going to be amazing, and I can't wait to see what Dikembe and the NBA team up with and how that becomes about, because there's going to be some pretty good players that start to come through those organizations, and it's going to be good for the NBA, but it's going to bring a lot more talent, and it's going to give some kids a run for their money here in the US, and it'll all be fun. It'll be fun to watch for sure.
Yep. Yeah, I can't wait. I feel like I haven't seen an Olympics in forever. 10 years. It's been it's been forever. So I'm excited. I really am. I just want to see things just get back to normal.
Yeah. And as we're on air right now, Diana Taurasi just got hurt. She's going to be out a few weeks, which kind of scares me because I'm really looking forward to her in the Olympics. So I hope it's nothing too major. I know she's going to be out 4 weeks, so obviously it's pretty important, but I want to see her on that Olympic team for sure. I want to see her with
probably the last one. Yeah.
Phoenix Mercury. Yeah, it's going to be the last one. Her, Sue Baird. That's their last ride. I got to talk to Coach Hughes, during March Madness, and Coach Vicki Johnson, assistant coaches, and of course Jen Rosati, another assistant coach for that U.S. Olympic team, and they're excited. They're ready to get back at it. Those are Vicki VJ is one of my friends. She's got her hands full in Dallas right now with the Wings, but seeing Jen Rosati and Coach Hughes and his excitement for that Olympic team is going to be pretty cool. And even on the men's side, I just hope LeBron and them are ready, because that overseas game and, all those other great players, it's going to be tough for the guys too.
Well, I don't think LeBron's going to probably do the Olympics, but most of our younger guys. Hopefully, we get more. I see like James Harden's probably going to do it, but like, what was it, 2 years ago? That USA team was just it was just full of a bunch of young guys, young NBA players. I really thought we still probably should have gone farther, but hopefully we get some of these like stars in the league just to do another Olympics.
Yeah,
because
there'll never be another dream team, though.
Yeah, there won't.
Never will. Never will be.
That team was, yeah.
Even watching documentaries to this day is still amazing. Just to see what they did, the shirts and skins battle they had for practice, and all those players. I mean, that was an amazing team, and you gotta love the Olympics because some of the things that come out of there, some of the people we get to see, is pretty cool. So, yeah, it's gonna be fun. Gonna be fun to watch.
It is. I'm excited. I just, and I see all the little Olympic trials and stuff going on as well. So, yeah, I'm ready for it.
And the Paralympics right after, which is pretty cool. I got to meet a few Paralympic people, athletes that are in that, and watching them train even here in San Antonio is pretty neat thing. Shout out to Ross Davis with SA Sports for that. Yeah, it's a pretty cool thing to see. So I'm excited for the Olympics in general. So it'll be fun. But all right, buddy, thanks for hanging with me today. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in and keeping us company. Please like, subscribe, and hope to see you guys back soon. Got some pretty cool things coming our way to King's Court with JJ. We got a podcast about Law and Order SVU. I don't know if you watched that, buddy. Law and Order SVU. And, a few other Showtime shows we're going to be doing. And I got a pretty cool interview coming up with my buddy Rashidi from the Virgin Islands. He good friends with Tim Duncan, and kind of teaches me some things about the Virgin Islands as well as some of the other athletes from the VI. So it's going to be a pretty cool show coming up. So you guys tune in, and love you guys and hope to see you soon. Peace. Have a good one.